Your own understanding. Truth under Babylon's empiricism. What up? Real quick, want to talk about the Simpsons and its many, I guess, predictions. There was a few predictions, or just one in particular, that was not noted. Meaning, people made distinctions about some of the correlations between what the Simpsons put out and what actually happened in real life. Now, one that we all missed for quite a while, which was the most consistent relative prediction, was the intro. The intro to The Simpsons. The Simpsons always was about a virtual human radioactive type of synthetic circus of a world under a dome. That's basically what The Simpsons was. I mean, even though they didn't, promote the dome, it was about the dome in a radioactive environment, and just the little follies that just happened as a result of that type of virtual processing of humanity. And it's actually translated throughout the intro. It never changed in its message. That I don't think people even they actually put it together when it came to certain events, but the message itself from the intro they never actually put in perspective. I don't like to use graphics and things like that because I like to use your own imagination, try to put it together, and then go back and reference and do your own research and study. Because me trying to show you something, just like me telling you something, is like me dictating something that I want you to believe. No, I'm just giving you information. You go back and research it. So the intro itself spoke a message. Probably missed it. I'm not going to go over it here, but it's a clear message. But the overlay is basically, a buffoonery position of masculinity, a radioactive processing of the commercialization itself, and also the just the biochemistry of the people there, of the inhabitants. Everything was within the realm of radioactivity, as per Mr. Burns and his business and things like that. And it's basically a control chaos. That's basically what it is, and it basically describes what they are to produce with humanity itself. But you missed the intro. Throughout the decades, you missed the intro and how it stayed, gave the same message, the same linear message. However, there's parts of the scene that changed that are very, very relevant that people forgot. The atmosphere itself, when the Simpsons first started, it was like a puff of cloud, one single cloud, and kind of separated, and then and then as the decades went on, and that one single cloud was the first thing they showed you. That was a message in itself. That was the very first thing they showed you. So if you are going to reference the atmosphere, do it from back in the 80s when we recognized clouds for what they were. As the decades move on, as the Simpsons intro moved on, the number of clouds increased. The density of clouds increased. The texture of the clouds changed. The background, the blue color, the texture also changed a little bit. Just as we see all those different textures of blue in our sky today. If you relate the sky in The Simpsons and in the intro and how it changed throughout the decade, you can see how we are now looking at these rogue formations in the sky, and the same flat the very same flat foundation of the cloud with the little puff or whatever the culmination of aerosol and metals is that creates that form on top. But there's like a dark flat surface, as if all the clouds are resting on a surface, and those same clouds are actually depicted in the Simpsons intro as they come along. And it wasn't like that in the very beginning. It was a puff of cloud, like clouds that we recognize, and then they all changed and turned into this like rogue invasion of a weather system that just is not recognizable to anybody that's been here and has history. So I just figured I'd mention that. Just kind of take a look, look at how the Simpsons clouds behave in the intro, and look at the clouds that we have today behave, that are totally lower than I remember them being. They look like it's an invasion of weather, or invasion, or a hidden invasion, which is cloaked by clouds. It just looks like the clouds themselves, some of them are not even really there. It looks like it's a digital representation of a cloud. But anyway, you can just take that and figure out what you're going to do with it, and be easy.